So when it comes to modifying your car, the first thing you'll usually do is jump onto the internet, and there you'll get about 1,000 people telling you need to buy a sunroof for your car, get these headlights for your car, or your friends tell you that you need to modify your engine, case swap it, or smack a B-series engine in there, or why don't you do this and that, and I'm just going to stop you right there. Those mods are nice, but the mods that we'll be giving you are nice. These are the mods you want to do to your car. These mods are the primary ones. That stuff is the secondary ones. We are telling you the most important, bestest, sophisticated, action-packed, satisfying, wrong word using things you need to do before anything else. So I'm Wxrkz from Loiter'S, and if you haven't done these 5 mods to your car, or if you even remember what your first mods were, feel free to drop it down in the comment below, and I'll happily tell you why you should have gone with coilovers as your first modification. So, coilovers, lowering springs, sleeve overs, and if you're just one of those guys to have 20,000-30,000 rand laying around for your first modification, then get air suspension.
This nigga gay.
But I'll stand with it till the day I die that coilovers will always be the best first mod, because a car with aftermarket suspension and stock wheels looks so much better than a car with aftermarket wheels but stock suspension. One of the best things about coilovers is no matter what car you're driving, you can almost find a set that matches your car, ranging from around 4,000 rand to anything around 16,000 rand. Not only does coilovers make your car look better, but it's one of the few modifications that actually makes your car perform a lot better. It's going to feel a lot better, especially if you've got an older car with old dusty sagging suspension components, and usually when you're modifying your first car, it's not necessarily a performance car or a race car. Maybe it's something like a Corolla or an awkwardly aged Honda that's left window doesn't work, or a Golf which only has 2 working door handles. So you're not really looking to build a race car, but you still want it to look cool, and that is why you buy coilovers first. It just makes it look so good, looks and feels sportier, it responds better, and its pricing ranges across the board. So if you're on a budget, you can get some sleeve overs with shortened struts, or a nice set of coilovers. But if you're a baller and you're eating sushi for breakfast, then you can get yourself some air suspension, and you'll be guaranteed to have an improvement of ride quality. So the second thing is, you guys probably expect me to say it, and that would be a combination of 2 things: wheels and tires. The things that matters the most in bringing a car together and giving it a nice finish are wheels and suspension. So when it boils down to function or performance, it all comes down to your tires and suspension. But what really personalizes the look of your car are wheels. Even if you are not a car person, some people still like the idea of an aftermarket wheel, so that when you're creeping through your city and people spot the car, they'll be like, hey, that's Wxrkz's car, you know? And at the same time, wheels are one of the easiest ones to do. I mean, you just unbolt them and then you bolt them again, and you'll be like, hell yeah, this looks good. And I can guarantee you that wheels are one of the most exciting things to purchase for your car, because when it comes to the aftermarket wheels, that is likely the first thing you'll notice on a car. You'll notice the wings, the wide bodies, the crazy camber, but when it comes down to it, you'll say, those are some nice ass wheels you got fitted on that car, or they suit the car pretty well. So, along with a nice set of wheels, something to make your car feel and perform better would be a nice set of tires. So that's your third modification. Tires are probably one of the best things you can get your car from a function point of view. But just like eating your fruits and vegetables, not a lot of people enjoy spending money and time on buying new tires, because people don't necessarily notice that modification on your car unless you tell them what tires you bought. And that would be a tad weird, since people would just take it as bragging. But tires is what keeps you planted to the ground. So just remember, if you are going to be spending a lot of money on wheels and not saving any of that budget for tires, you are going to be one of those guys or one of those girls, and you don't want to be either of them. Even if you are stretching your tires, you can still get a decent set, Remember, you will be driving on them all the time. And if one of your tires blows out, you'll ruin your 5,000 rand set of wheels you just bought, which ultimately ends up you running into a curb, ruining your left side coilover, and you'll end up there just like. So thus far, you have the coilovers to make it feel better. You got the wheels that are going to make it look better. And now you got the tires that are just going to make it just. So the fourth step is definitely something to make the car sound better. Yes, I'm talking about exhaust. Exhaust is probably one of the biggest things you can do for your car to fall under that bull category. Is that a lot of people usually mess this up almost all the time. They go to an exhaust shop and be like, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, and wonder why your Polo now sounds like a big old Chevy truck, and you're thinking, why did I do this to myself? Why do I cry myself to sleep every night? Why did Ramaphosa ban liquor? Why did my girlfriend leave me? These are all questions that can be answered by one terrible exhaust job. If you go to an exhaust shop, there are decent exhaust systems that wouldn't cost you an arm and a leg, and the guys there can take your crappy sounding exhaust and make it sound less crappy. The fifth and final modification I fully agree on and makes the car look so much better, more aggressive, and can even finish off a nice clean look, and that would be aero. So, if you've added some aero onto your car, it would be something like a diffuser, front splitter, maybe a small lip on the rear on the front bumper, maybe a wing on the trunk. And when talking about aero, it doesn't necessarily have to be the wide bodies, over fenders, chassis mount wings or things like that. But aero is going to help give your vehicle a little bit more depth, a little bit more lines, and even just a little bit more to look at, which ultimately makes it look a little bit meaner. So, those are the 5 mods from the Loiter'S team. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button to keep us motivated to be dropping more bangers like this. So there you have it. 5 best mods to do to your first car.